everyone. So in this lecture, we are going to study about Amazon Simple Storage Service, which in short is widely known as Amazon S3. Now, as the name suggests, Amazon Simple Storage Service is basically a, a storage provided by Amazon, and these are the various features of Amazon S3. And one by one, we will see what are these features. The first feature is it is a service that provides object level storage. So in Amazon S3, everything we store, either we are storing a video file, a audio file, a data file, everything we store is regarded as an object. So in bracket, it is written in the first point that you can manage your storage in one place with an easy to use application interface. The second point says that Amazon S3 stores data as objects in bucket, which I have already told you. In the third point, it is saying you can upload any type of file to Amazon S3, such as images, video, text files, and so on. Now, the fourth point say, for example, you might use Amazon S3 to store backup file, media file for a website or archive document. Amazon S3 offers unlimited storage space. So this is a key point. As we have seen, Amazon provides basically EBS, Elastic Block Store, which is directly attached to EC2, which we have discussed earlier in the earlier videos. And here it is providing S3. So S3 provides unlimited storage space, whereas Amazon EBS, which is directly attached to EC2, does not provide unlimited, it provides a limited space. So this is the main difference between S3 and EBS. The maximum file size is 5 TB in S3. So we can, one file of 5 TB we can store in S3. This is the maximum file we can store. The sixth point is when you upload a file to S3, you can set permissions to control visibility and access to it. So you can determine if somebody can access it or not. The seventh point is you can also use the Amazon S3 versioning feature to track changes to your objects over time. So you might have to pay some more for this versioning, and by this you can track changes if any changes in your saved object or saved file is happening in the system or who is accessing it. Next, now these are the 6 types of Amazon S3 provided to us. The first type is S3 standard, then S3 standard infrequent access, S3 one zone infrequent access, S3 intelligent tiering, S3 glacier, and S3 glacier deep archive. So according to the name, they have determined, they have set these different storages, capabilities, and characteristics. So let us first see what is S3 standard. Now S3 standard is the most commonly used storage of S3. In this storage, we store the data which is frequently accessed. Frequently accessed means the frequency should be in a day you are accessing it for 10 to 12 times, or every day you are accessing it, then the data should be stored in S3 standard. Now, the second point in S3 standard, it is saying that it stores data in a minimum of 3 availability zones. It means your data is duplicated 3 times, or in 3 different physical servers it is placed. What is the reason? Reason is if one server fails due to any natural calamity or any server failure, then it is stored in the other 2 availability zones and your data is protected. So accordingly, according to the different features of the storage, the pricing is also determined. The second type of standard storage is S3 standard infrequent access. Now, as the name suggests, if you are not frequently accessing the data, okay, you are accessing it in 7 days or after 10 days, you have an infrequent access, then you can put your data in this part, in this storage. Now the first point is ideal for infrequently accessed data. it is similar to S3 standard but has a lower storage price and higher retrieval price. Now this is the key point. Now because you are storing here, that you are storing the data here because you are infrequently accessing it. So whenever you access it, if you access it frequently, then the price go higher. So you have to, see that you access it infrequently only. Okay, otherwise you have to pay a higher price. Okay, then the storage price in this is obviously becomes lower. The third storage part, the third type of storage of S3 is S3 one zone infrequent access. Okay, now what are its characteristics? First, stores data in a single availability zone. Okay, so as the name suggests, it stores the data in a single availability zone. It has a lower storage price than S3 standard IA. Okay, so the second one which we have seen, it stores the data in three parts, in three availability zones. But in S3 one zone, it stores in single availability zone, and also it has a lower price than the second storage. The Okay, now this makes it a good storage class to consider if the following conditions apply. You want to save cost on storage. Okay, आपको कम पैसे खर्च करने हैं, ठीक है, you can use this type of storage. You can easily reproduce your data in the event of an availability zone failure. Okay, the it replicates the data. If there is a event of failure, then it replicates the data to another availability zone. Now the fourth part is S3 intelligent tiering. Now as the name suggests, it must have something intelligent going on in this storage. Now what is the intelligent part? It changes the storage according to our storage or accessing patterns. If we are accessing it quite regularly, it changes according to that. If we are accessing infrequently, it changes the monthly charges and the fees according to that. Now the first point, let us see, ideal for data with unknown or changing access patterns. It requires a small monthly monitoring and automation fee per object. In the S3 intelligent tiering storage class, Amazon S3 monitors objects access patterns. Okay, if you have not, the line in reading, if you have not accessed an object for 30 consecutive days, Amazon S3 automatically moves it to the infrequent access tier. Okay, so this is the intelligent part in the S3 intelligent tiering, that it automatically moves your storage type to infrequent access. So if you want to select this kind of storage, you can select this. In the last line, it is saying if you access an object in the infrequent access tier, Amazon S3 automatically moves it to the frequent access tier. So it is working vice versa. For 30 days, you are not accessing, it is putting in infrequent access. And if you are accessing the infrequent storage, then it moves to S3 standard. It converts your storage to S3 standard. Then the fifth type of storage is S3 Glacier. As the name suggests, Glacier means you are storing your data for a longer period of time. So let us see the first point, low cost storage. Obviously, if you are accessing your data after a very long time, let us say after 6 months you are accessing your data, then the storage price it needs is going to be very low. So low cost storage designed for data archiving. Second point, able to retrieve objects within a few minutes to hours. So it will take some time to access your data. Okay, but accordingly the price will be lower to store the data. Now the sixth point, S3 Glacier Deep Archive. As again the name suggests, it is going to store the data longer than the S3 Glacier. And the first point in the S3 Glacier Deep Archive is lowest cost object storage class, ideal for archiving. Suppose you have some video lectures or anything which you do not want to access for the next 1 year or so, or you just want to store them, then S3 Glacier Deep Archive is the best option you have. Second point it is saying able to retrieve objects within 12 hours. So it may take up to 12 hours to retrieve the data we have saved. Okay. You can retrieve objects stored in the S3 Glacier storage class within a few minutes to a few hours. By comparison, you can retrieve objects stored in the S3 Glacier Deep Archive storage class within 12 hours. So according to our needs, we have these 6 types of uh, storage classes, and we have to see how much we want to spend and what kind of data we are having and what are our access patterns. Then only we will choose the service type we need. Okay. So thank you for today. Thank you for watching this lecture.